Good day and welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a really interesting case study about an Aussie web dev firm called Codeo. And, they were tackling a very modern problem. How do you wrangle the power of AI before it turns into total, absolute chaos? Okay, let's dive right in with a question that honestly probably keeps a lot of tech leaders up at night. Think about it. All that brilliant stuff, all your team's best ideas, is it just stuck in someone's DMs? Or worse, just in their head? Because if it is, that's a huge, hidden risk just waiting to bite you.
And that brings us right to our case study, Codeo. They're a high-stakes digital strategy firm, and they were smack bang in the middle of what you could only call AI chaos.
So to really get what's at stake here, you've got to understand who Codeo are. They're a top-tier Aussie web dev firm. They build these incredibly high-performance websites where literally every single millisecond counts. Their whole world is conversion rate optimization, or CRO, which is just a fancy way of saying they turn website visitors into actual customers. And in their space, it's brutally competitive. Speed and rock-solid tech aren't just nice-to-haves, they are everything. So before they sorted things out, their team was wrestling with some massive headaches. First up, you've got tool sprawl. Dozens of different AI subscriptions floating around. Total chaos. Then there's the knowledge loss. All the really critical info, it was either buried in private chats or, worse, just locked away in the heads of senior devs. And of course, that creates huge security risks, right? Client data all over the place. The end result? Collaboration was just a slow, messy nightmare. And this slide really frames the entire story for us, doesn't it? It's the journey they took, from something fragmented, risky, and slow, to a system that was unified, secure, and fast. That's the transformation we're going to unpack right now.
Okay, let's zoom in on what was probably their single biggest pain point, losing what's called tribal knowledge. You know what I'm talking about. It's all that unwritten stuff, the little tricks and insights that aren't in any manual, but it's how your team actually gets work done. It's a huge, often overlooked risk. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. All that crucial technical context, it just lived in the heads of a few senior people. Think about that for a second. Your most valuable asset, your team's collective brainpower, wasn't safe. It was totally vulnerable. One key person leaves and boof, a massive chunk of that knowledge just vanishes, walks right out that door. So this is where things start to turn around. To fight back against that chaos and lock down their knowledge, Codeo brought in a platform called Leo. The whole idea was to make it their central hub, their single source of truth. So, what exactly is Leo? Well, the simplest way to think about it is like a central brain for the entire company. It's a secure hub that connects everyone to the right info right when they need it. And what's really key, it gives them access to all the newest AI models, but keeps it all in one place, totally under the company's control. And what's brilliant here is how it delivered value to pretty much everyone. For leadership, well, they immediately slashed costs by getting rid of all those random AI subscriptions. For operations, onboarding new hires suddenly became way, way faster. And for the security team, they could finally breathe easy knowing sensitive client data was locked down and compliant. It was a genuine win-win-win across the board. So how did it actually fix those initial headaches? Well, by being that one unified hub, it tackled each problem head-on. It gave everyone centralized access to the best AI models. It took all those scattered files and chats and turned them into a proper, structured knowledge hub. And it created this awesome collaborative space for sharing resources. Plus, and this is super important, it enforced role-aware access. So developers only see the data they're supposed to see, which completely solves that security nightmare. Okay, so that all sounds great on paper, right? But the real question is, did it actually work? Let's get into the numbers and see the real-world impact this had on what they call their engineering velocity. And here it is. This is the hero number of the whole story. A massive 33 to 50% boost in their engineering velocity. For a high-performance team like Codeo, that is an absolutely huge leap. But what does engineering velocity even mean? Well, this chart breaks it down for us. It's looking at something called diff authoring time. Basically, that's just the time it takes a developer to go from an idea to writing, testing, and shipping an actual code change. And look at that drop. By putting everything in one place, they cut that time by up to half. They weren't just faster, they were shipping better code. And it wasn't just about raw speed. The business saw real, tangible wins.
They saved a bunch of money by consolidating all their software subscriptions. New hires were actually productive from day one, which is a game changer. And most importantly, all this efficiency meant better results and higher conversion rates for their clients. That's the bottom line.
So, what's the big payoff here? What's the main takeaway from this whole story? Well, it really comes down to this one brilliant analogy. This just says it all, doesn't it? They moved from what was basically a messy library of loose papers, just total chaos, to this high-speed digital living wiki. It's not a static document. It's a shared company brain that's always growing, always up to date, and it just empowers the entire team.
And really, that leaves us with one last question to think about for your own team. Right now, is your company's brain more like that scattered library, or is it a living wiki? Something to chew on. Thanks for watching.